Before we get started today, we're just going to do a simple little warm-up just to flow through our hips and our shoulders primarily. So whenever you're ready, meet me in a tabletop. Just a nice simple cat-cow at first, so 2 rounds. Let's inhale, drop the belly button, reach the chin up. Yes, exhale, let's round the back, stretch the back body, tuck the chin in. One more, inhale, pull the chest forward, opening the front body. Exhale, round. Come to a neutral spine. We're just going to go side to side a couple times. Gaze at the hips. Maybe give a little fishtail at the bottom in the lumbar spine. Awesome. Then we're going to do some spine circles, just 2 both ways. So inhale, you round the chest at the bottom. Exhale, round at the top. Inhale, bottom. Just opening up, exhale, top. Switch directions at your own pace, 2 full circles. So we're just getting the blood flow going in the vertebrae. Getting the shoulders a little loose. Awesome. Now we're going to do circles but forward and back. So let's inhale, lift up. Exhale, lean forward, drop down. All the way, inhale, pushing up. Lean forward, dropping down, coming back. One more this direction. Inhale. Exhale. Switch directions. Inhale. Exhale. Really loosening up the chest here. You feel the shoulders just roll over, opening up the scapula. You just get this warming sensation coming through. Awesome. Let's find a neutral spine. Just step out the feet, come into your plank. Find 1 breath here. Inhale, wrap the triceps, tug the tailbone. As you exhale, lean forward, come into a chaturanga. Inhale, it's up dog. Exhale, down dog. Find a couple breaths here, just pedal at the feet. Really focusing mainly on the hips here and the shoulders, so maybe shake out the chest, wiggle the shoulders. And once you feel good, find a still down dog for 1 full breath. Inhale, exhale. From here, let's inhale, roll into a plank almost. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back and up. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, coming back. Let's do 3 more. Just loosening up the shoulders, feeling that fluidity in your body. Feeling that hip crease as you go back. Feels great for the hips. Let's do 1 more. Oh, it feels amazing. Awesome. Find a still down dog. Shake it out. Pedal it out. Just feeling a little bit more loose. 1 more thing to loosen up. Inhale, bring this right foot up all the way. And as you exhale, just bend the knee, roll the hip open here, and reach this right knee up to the sky, the ceiling on an inhale. Awesome. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, left foot comes up, reach it high. Exhale, bend the knee, roll the hip open. And on an inhale, I just want you to lift up the knee as high as you can. And exhale, drop it down. Shake the hips left and right. So feeling good. Your shoulders should be warm. Last thing, we're just going to drop the elbows here. So drop them straight down. Make sure they're about shoulder width apart. Make sure the elbows don't fall too far outward. And all we're going to do is a few reps here. So inhale, just roll forward so your shoulders come above the elbows. Exhale, send the heart back open. Inhale, open. Exhale, open. Inhale, rock forward. Exhaling back, opening up the heart. 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhaling back. Last one. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Awesome. Drop the knees down. Sitting up. Rolling out the shoulders. Just feeling good. Loosening up. Maybe roll out the neck a little bit, because we are going to be on the head. Just whatever feels good for you. Awesome. Let's bring the hands behind the back. Interlock the fingers. Squeeze the elbows together as you inhale. Reach the chest up to the sky. As you exhale, bring the hands to the right hip. Drop the right ear down here. And maybe pause, stay still for a breath. Or you roll the neck out, just exploring this left side of the neck. For 1 more exhale. As you inhale, bring the hands to the back again. Open up the heart. Exhale, bring the hands to the left hip. Drop that left ear down this time. 1 breath here. Maybe move, maybe you're still. Great. Inhale. Open back up. And then exhale, go ahead and let go. Awesome, I feel warm. I feel good. Let's hop into a headstand first. So whenever you're ready, again, headstand, I actually don't teach them very much. So this is a, kind of a disclaimer. I'm good at them and everything. I can teach them, but I actually don't like them. I just don't like them because I don't like being on my head. I don't like how it makes my neck feel. I just don't like them, but I'm here for them. I do them every once in a while. When I'm in Ashtanga, I do it. So it's okay. And I'm here to teach you because it helps you a lot with learning how to control your hips and knowing where your feet are at in space, because for the rep method, the P is all about proprioception, and we're just trying to know where the body is at, where we're trying to lean to where we can hold that balance. So we're going to get familiar with that today. So Sam's going to come straight on her head. Actually, switch me mats today, Sam, so you can be closer to the camera. And you're going to actually bring your back up against the wall. So turn around. So especially if you're new with your headstands, you want to have a wall right here. And I'm going to show you why. So go ahead and come up onto your head. She's actually going to come closer. So Sam isn't used to using a wall. We know how to fall and roll out and everything, but we're not going to go in that today because there's no need. We just need to learn how to use the hips. So what she's going to do is you're going to kick up probably at first. It's going to take a kick. Yes. So what happens if her hips fall, or if her knees are bent and she doesn't have her feet to come to the wall? She has to be comfortable with letting the hips come all the way to the wall. So let your hips come all the way. Yes. So you see how she looks right now? She isn't letting the forehead roll too much forward. That's the only thing we want to make sure that we stay away from here, so that you're comfortable enough and you know the wall is here supporting you. So whenever you're ready at home, go ahead and hop up into your headstand. Make sure you're comfortable here. And what we're going to do is once you get there, bring your hips off the wall. And we're going to come into a scissor first. So bring your right foot forward. Let's do right foot forward. Yes. Make your left heel light and take control. Slowly come off whenever you're good. And Sam's balancing right now. So what I want you to do when you're here is engage both quads, point the toes, and I want you to be very aware with where your body weight is at, where your feet is at. It's just a closed scissor leg. And from here, can you switch your scissor legs? Yes. And if you can do it, keep doing it. I want you to feel where your hips are at and how when you pull the feet together and away from each other, you're pulling from your hips and from your core area right here. That's where it's all happening. You'll do micro adjustments with your head and your elbows. That's just kind of, you'll learn over time how to balance there. But the main thing is where your hips are going. If your hips go over top, you're going to come to the wall. If your hips come forward, you will fall down. Yeah, Sam could be here forever. We've done this a lot. Awesome. Go ahead and come down. So that was a good first rep. Shake it out. Maybe roll out the head a little bit. So again, I want to make another note of the protection of your neck. Make sure the crown of the head is the only thing touching. If you ever start to round forward to your forehead, you put your C3 and 4, a lot of risk. We don't want to do that to your neck spine. So we just want to stay away from that. Stay on the crown of the head and stay strong here. So you're always lifting the crown, keeping the neck straight, not letting this stuff happen. So whenever you're ready, let's come up for another rep. We're just going to do a different variation. So we're actually going to aim for a pencil at first, just like last time. So go ahead and kick up however you can get up. Awesome. So come into your pencil headstand and just breathe here for a couple of seconds. If you fall down, it's okay. Hop right back up and you can always rewind the video. So what we're going to do here is small movements. It's actually not a small movement. We're going to bring the knees down and come into a headstand tuck. Yes. You see what that did to her hips? It brought it towards the wall and she almost fell down. That's okay. And now we're going to kick the feet back to the ceiling. Yeah. So do it very slow and just keep doing reps here. So what you'll find is you'll notice that when you crease the hips in, your hip weight goes over top a lot more. So this is something to play around with. See, on Sam's third rep, now she did it smoothly all the way down. Her hips didn't touch the wall. So once you start getting that connection, just keep doing these reps and you'll learn how to control the hip weight, how to control your hips placement as your knee weight starts to come down and it shifts your weight out of balance. Yeah, Sam's crushing it right now. If you're feeling this at home, just keep doing it and keep breathing. Yeah, come down whenever you're good. That was really good. So first you'll notice when you pull your knees down, your hips will go over top and you send more weight than you expected.
Yep.
So right away you learn that. So then next few reps, you're good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do one last one, but take your time. Again, stretch out your neck if you need it. It shouldn't be too strenuous. Actually, the main thing that hurts is usually people's crown of their head. Their skull hurts, not their neck. So one last round. Come on up into a pencil first. Awesome. So this is going to be a little bit challenging for y'all. So what we're going to do is come to where you can actually drop your butt on the wall. And what we're going to do is a straddle press here. We're actually not going to do a press. We're actually going to do the negative first. So widen out your feet as wide as they can go. And once they stop where your groins will stop you, start to round your hips inward. Yes, so you round your toes forward like she just did. And right here is good. Come to where your legs are parallel and stop. Yeah. Can you come off the wall maybe? Or is it too much? Yeah. If it's hard to come off the wall, you just need to bring your head a little bit closer to the wall and that'll help you. But if you can press it all the way up, come all the way back up without touching the wall. That's perfect. So if you can do more reps without touching the hips to the wall, I want to encourage you to try this. This will help you so much with learning how to crease in at the hips. Just control your hips when you're upside down. And it helps you learn about your feet weight. So this one's a great one. Just distributes your weight a lot. Helps you learn how to readjust, micro-adjust continuously. Yes, that's great. So maybe one day when you're doing handstand straddle presses, you'll be like, you'll remember this video. You'll be like, I remember the days where I started doing it first. But this can be something that intimidates people, because I've had people come to handstand workshops and then, you know, I'll pop them into a headstand or a shoulder stander and I'll have them do something like a straddle and they'll just be so scared at first, but then they realize they're much better than what they thought, and then they just surprise themselves, and then it gives them encouragement for their handstand. So with that being said, we're going to step it up a notch and we're going to go to our forearm stands, which are much harder, I'll be honest. You probably felt this from I forget what day it was, but we had headstands and forearm stands in them. But this one's good. So go ahead and bring your fingers about 3 to 4 inches away from the wall. It's usually what I recommend for this. Drop the elbows down and go ahead and come up into your dolphin pose at first. So however you can kick up, I recommend the scissor kick up. And if you cannot get this, put your feet on a block. Give you some sort of level up, however you can, a bolster of some sort. And we're going to come into a pencil stand. So hold up for a second, 1 second. Keep your foot on the wall, Sam. She's jumping way ahead. It's fine. You're good. She's ready to hold it. So we're going to come up into a scissor handstand or forearm stand and keep one foot on the wall. So go ahead and meet me there. Kick on up. And we're going to bring the right foot to the wall. And left foot comes off. So same thing here, come to your light, and I want you to see where the hips are. And if you have to, and if you feel really weird here, I recommend recording yourself so you can see what your body looks like. Once you get here, make sure your hips are relatively above the elbows, and then you make the right heel light and press off with the hands. See if you can balance here. Awesome. Your hands might come together and that's fine. You can bring them together in a V shape like this, or if you don't like that, you can bring a block in between your hands so that way your hands can't fall towards one another. So whenever you're ready, kick up for another rep, and we just want to find some balance here. Just a few breaths, just a regular pencil handstand or forearm stand. I keep on saying handstand. Awesome, and come on down. Shake it out. It's okay. You don't have to hold these at all. This is just knowing how to distribute your weight. So once you come up, I'll just show you one to give Sam a nice little break. So once you come up here, we had the right foot on the wall, left foot come off. The only thing I want to make sure is that I'm not doing stuff like this. I'm not like letting everything go, and I'm not doing stuff like this, because this is really just painful for my lower back and I'm pinging a lot. I want to get straight. So I want to tuck in the lower navel, tuck in that tailbone. So now when my left heel comes off, I know where my hips are. I feel control here, and I can bring my hip weight forward, make my right foot light just by pressing with my hands a little bit. And now I'm here. So this is it's actually just controlling where your hips are, and that's where it all starts. From there you can get into the fun stuff of balancing, and that's fun and everything, but you don't have to balance. Sam didn't even balance right there. Yeah. But I want you to feel the tuck of the tailbone, sitting the hip weight forward, and feeling that weight shift you off your hands to your elbows. Because when you're in a handstand, there's not much playful room there. You know what I mean? You're coming right down. You're coming off your hands. So here we have some play room. So whenever you're ready, come on up. Find a comfortable hand position. So Sam's doing her hands together now. That'd be good. So again here, can you tuck in the tailbone a little bit, just like that plank? Send the hip weight forward from there, and then start pushing off a little bit with the hands maybe. Now you know where your hip weight is. It's engaged. Yeah, come on down. So we're gonna do one more. I want you to do the other leg. So one more pencil hand, or forearm stand. This is gonna be the last one here, and I'm gonna show you the next one. So we just want a little bit of controlment in the shoulders, in the hips. So the shoulders are good. Tuck in the tailbone, yes, and the hip weight forward. Push off with the hands, and she's holding it. So maybe you can hold it at home. Just building that awareness and where your pelvic floor is. And then come on down. Nice, Sam. And last one for this, I'm gonna show it first, give Sam a break, give you a break, is a pencil forearm stand. So for this, I recommend coming as close as you can to the wall, like absolutely as close as you can. So find out where you're comfortable and how you want your hand positioning to be. And also, one little rule of thumb is, I want to give this camera a nice view. For your elbows here, your elbows will always fall outward. So if you're doing this type of position, I recommend dropping your elbows close and then letting your skin kind of stretch and then stopping, because your skin will pull. So if you're doing this, same thing, come in a little bit closer and then widen out. Let your skin pull, because it will go out another inch, inch and a half, and it'll fall out. And again, if you want a block, if you like this more, but you're like, oh, my hands keep falling together while my elbows keep going out, again, do the elbow trick, but you can also put a block right here. That helps a ton. But it's all whatever's your fancy, really. So whatever you're good, come close, get your elbows nice and clean, and come up. We're gonna kick up, and what we're gonna do is one at a time. So I'm gonna come off my right foot. I'm gonna feel my tailbone tuck in, my hip go forward. But before I do anything, I'm just pushing a little bit with my hands to get my left leg to come meet my right leg. My hips stay where they're at. So right now I can close my eyes and just imagine where my hips are. It's much harder, but I'm not even worried about my feet. It's about where my hips are, and that's where my feet will direct afterwards. So as long as you're pointing the toes and you're not doing some shapes like this, you'll know where your feet are. If your tailbone's tucked, if your lower back is long, because that means you're directing your legs in one straight line. So unless you have a bend at your knee or the ankle, you will be straight. If you're pointing that toe, if your leg is straight, it's all about how your hips are aligned. And that's where your body, will go. Let's do one last one together. So take your time, placement, find that and kick up. Once we're up there, bring one leg off, whatever is comfortable for you. Engage the hips. Yeah, hip in, tuck in that tailbone. Press with the hands just a little bit to bring the other leg with the, yes. Bring both legs together. Hold this pencil. Stay straight in the hips. Make sure your legs are locked out. You're pointing your toes, and you know you're in a straight line. That's the straightest line I've seen you have before, Sam.
That's rough.
That's good. Usually people will come into a banana shape right there. So I'm just going to show you what one looks like, because you may have just entered one yourself. That's okay, because we're going to correct it. So go ahead and come on up, and whenever you do, you may have brought one foot off. You tucked in your tailbone and everything, and as you press with the hands to bring the second foot off the wall, a lot of people like to gaze forward and round their chest a little bit. So a lot of people will tend to come into a little shape like this, and it will be uncomfortable for the lower back if you're not careful. So I want to keep my tailbone tucked here, and that keeps all of that away. So if anything, I'm going to be giving a shape like this by messing up. So then you just got to keep the tailbone tucked by hipping in, and then you find that straight line. And knowing that will help you so much, because it's the same exact game with your handstand. You're doing the same exact thing with your hips, to where, again, this is just a little bit easier. Some people actually think forearm stands are harder than handstands. But anyways, it just gives you another variation to try to tuck in the tailbone. So with that being said, if you do have a shoulder stander, I recommend you staying for this last part of the video. But if you don't, I would see you in the ending handstands.